In this video, I'm going to show you how to use an absolute cell reference in Excel. You will also hear this referred to as locking a cell reference in place. And so I have covered this briefly in other videos. However, in this tutorial, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth so that you can really understand how cell references move when you are copying and pasting a formula, and how you can lock it depending on where you want it locked. So you can lock something in 3 spots. You can lock it in the specific cell, you can lock it in the row, or in the column. And that is what I'm going to cover in this video. So first, to show you what I mean, I'm going to do a basic formula using cell reference A1 plus cell reference E1. Now when I take this formula and I copy it down, for every cell that I move down, my cell references also move along with it. This is usually a good thing. For most instances, you want this to occur. Sometimes you don't though. And so you need to know how to use an absolute cell reference or lock your cell reference in place in your formula. So cell references also move when you move them to the left or right. So here I'll set up another basic formula and I will copy this to the right here. So this first one is A8, B8, but then if I move one to the right, these cell references continue to move. So if you want to lock a cell reference, what you need to do is go into your formula and press F4 on your keyboard. And you will then see these dollar signs. You'll see one before the column letter and one before the row number. This means that this is an absolute cell reference now. I am locking this cell reference in place. So now when I copy this formula and I paste it down, no matter where I am, I'm always in cell E1. So you can lock something in 3 different spots. You can lock something in the specific cell, so you'll see the $2 signs here, or you can lock something in a row or a column. So if I come back to this cell now and I press F4 on my keyboard again, now the dollar sign is only before the row number, which means I'm only locked in row 1. So if I take this formula now and I paste it down, we're still in E1, and that is because we're not going to move from row 1. So if I move down, it's not going to move because I'm staying in 1. However, if I take this one and I copy it to the right now, we are moving to the right because we're only locked in the row. So we don't move down, but we move to the right. Now you can also lock something in the specific column. So if I come back to this and press F4, then the dollar sign is only before the column letter. So this means we are now locked in column E. So if I paste this down, you'll notice this does move down because we're staying in E. But now if I copy this and I paste it to the right, well, we're getting circular reference errors. So we don't want to do that. But it would not move to the right. So I would have to do a different formula that's not using a circular reference. I'll cover circular reference errors in a different video, but there's 3 different spots we can lock it. We can lock it in the specific cell, so I have the dollar sign before the column letter and row number. I can lock it in the specific row, so this would be in row 1, or I could lock it in E. You can also lock ranges, and so it works the same way. If you want to use a range in your formula, then what you have to do is you have all of the same options. So if you want it just locked in the specific range, then you're going to actually need $4 symbols. So you're going to need it at the start of your range before the column letter and row number, and at the end of your range before your column letter and row number. So that is how to use an absolute cell reference in Excel. Hopefully now you understand how this works. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or content suggestions, just let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to answer everyone.